Hello. Testing, testing. One, two, three. I've got Sarah here. I'm going to add her to the stage. Uh-oh.
Wow, on the stage.
Hello. How are you?
Hello to you.
Good to see you. Let's see who we got in here. Sarah Stiletto 8. Okay. You want it off? Okay. No problem. Hey, almost everything. How are you? The kids are by. The grandkids are by. How are you doing? Uh-oh. Right before we were gonna go live, Sugar Bear decided he had a lot to say. Can you guys hear me okay? How are you guys? Where are you coming in from? It looks like my audio is connected. What are you making, Miss Sarah? What are you knitting?
This is a shawl I'm making for my bestest friend's mom because she likes different colors of red. So I'm making her a shawl and I'm almost done.
That's a pretty color. Is it like a Merlot? Is that what they? It's very beautiful. It's like a rich
It's autumn red and harvest red.
Okay, nice.
So,
I like it.
This is yes. That's what I do. I like to crochet.
Super golden, Chris. Okay, good. Thank you, Laura. Southeast Washington State. Well, all right. Welcome in. Wait, there's a case in Washington. At the park? No, we're not going to the park right now. Where are you going, honey? What? I don't know what just happened. Hug. You want a hug? Okay. Okay. So I've been working since last night on the Jared. Well, not just since last night, but doing a presentation of Jared Bridegan. I don't know what just happened. What happened, babe? Okay, I don't know what's going on right now. You want to sit in that chair? I brought that chair for you. No. Okay. He does not want to sit in that chair. But yeah, Jared Bridegan, it's very heartbreaking. And the more I read it, the more it was reminding me of the Markells and the Adelsons because they're also fighting over the kids. And so it's Shayna Gardner. She was married to Jared Bridegan. She and her now estranged husband were involved in his unaliving. And so once her estranged husband got arrested, she went back to, did she go to Washington? She went somewhere out west. She might have gone to Utah, but either way, so her kids went with her, right, after the husband got arrested. And so then she got arrested like maybe 9 months later. And the kids stayed with her parents who were out there. So maybe they were in Utah because I think her parents are in Utah, although they said they were doing a mission. And so the courts awarded custody to her parents and on the, I don't know what you want, though. Yeah, don't mess with the light, though. That's the light right here so they can see us. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You want to show them your pants? You got on, who is that? Who is that on your pants? Is that Oscar? Oscar. Yeah. Right.
Oscar the Grouch? Oscar.
Yeah. Oscar. Who is Oscar friends with? Who are his friends? What's his name? Elmo, yes. And who else? What's the blue one? Grover? He's just newly introduced to Sesame Street. Okay, so yes, Washington. Okay, thank you. I thought it was Washington. I was like, but wait, her parents are also in Utah. But yeah, it was. So her kids got to stay, and she actually bought a house with her trust. Like she had her family buy. You got me? With her trust money. It's just heartbreaking all around. Like I feel it's all unfortunate, and he has 4 children now that don't have a dad. 2 of his children are with the widow. He had 2 girls, and then obviously he had they were 9 at the time, the twins with Shanna. And I'm watching a bunch of footage. A frog? Oh yeah, that is a frog. And a pig. There's another. I'm playing Sesame on this screen for him. I thought he was going to fall for it and wear his headphones. and sit behind me, but duck. Yes. What sound does the duck make? What sound does a pig make? What sound does the pig make? Oink, oink, oink. Cookie Monster, and I forgot about Animal. Muppets changed so much. You guys know that Elmo has legs. When I was little, he didn't have legs. He can tap dance and do all
Elmo
the.
has legs?
Yes, he's very,
No.
yeah. Even the count, because we were doing if you want to count to number 2, jump 2 times. He's got legs because he was jumping.
Oh my
Yeah,
lord.
it's a little crazy, right? Okay. Yeah, I feel bad for the twins. So you want to get down? Okay. The hearing that I was watching, they're trying to depose the twins, and the twins are in Washington. No, you said down. Do you want some of this? And they're going around and round. Should they get a guardian at Lightem? It sounds like it's more Mario, who's the estranged husband, and Shanna who are worried about it more so than the prosecution. They don't want them to have like an assigned guardian, but the judge was specifying, look, it's just for the depositions. Like they're in another state. We're doing it via Zoom. There has to at least be an adult in the room who can help work the technology. And like, do they need to go to the bathroom? Anybody but obviously a relative, right? Their grandparents can't be in the room with them when they're being deposed. So they're asking for like a third party to do it, and the defense is not happy about that. Jose Baez is interesting. I feel like he's the lawyer that James Owens wanted to be when he grew up, but it didn't work out because he's pulling out all of the stops. Oh, you live in Richland, Queen Olive? If you want to come up, let us know. The link is on the post because I'm curious. I'm sure everybody knew. She also in Jacksonville had a bakery. I can't remember. The last 3 digits are whatever the area code are for Jacksonville. I think it's like 904 or something like that. Let's see, Jacksonville area code. And I just found a post where somebody who 904. So I think it was like something baked 904. Somebody she made a birthday cake for had posted the cake on Facebook saying like it's hard to reconcile that my baker murdered her husband. Like she went above and beyond to make this cake for me, and she seems like such a sweet person, and yet she allegedly plotted the her husband's demise. Both of her marriages, and so now she's allegedly getting a divorce from Mario, but both of her husbands she married in very short order. I don't know if anybody is Mormon. Is that typical for Mormons to get married straight away, or religion in general? I just feel like my sister, one of my sisters is super religious, and her daughter got married at like 21 or 22. After a short.
When they go to college, they don't go to learn anything. They go to get their MRS degree.
Their MRS, yes. So. And apparently, Jared got his bachelor's, speaking of degrees, while he was with Shanna, and she's saying her family money footed the bill. Foot the bill. What's the past tense of foot? Footed? Not. Anyway, they paid for it, and then he was getting his master's and working from home. I only knew him as like the Microsoft executive. He was a software developer, and I guess rose to the ranks of executive. Although I think they removed his whole LinkedIn page because I can't find any of his like actual history, his work history, like how long was he at Microsoft, what was he getting his master's in. I was looking for that kind of information. It's very interesting. Then there's all this crazy news. Did you guys see the lady who left her kids in the house for 4 years in the townhouse?
Oh, I heard about that. She needs to be held in this special place.
She's facing 3 life sentences, but like the girls, it was a 15-year-old boy, 13-year-old boy, 13-year-old girl, 12-year-old girl. They did not have like soap and water. She wasn't doing laundry for them. Like the girls had no hygiene product. None of them, not even like toothpaste. I mean like basic hygiene stuff. Oh, what happened? Did you bump your head? You just don't know what you want to do with yourself, huh? Can I pick you up? Yeah, did you bump your head? Does it need a kiss? Yeah. Okay. Cat. Oh yeah, that is a cat. If you put the headphones on, you can hear what they're talking about with the cat. You don't want to do that?
No way. That's what it is. Blue as mine.
Oh, excuse you. No, okay, you don't want to hear it? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I don't know where one of the YouTubers showed a house where she was living, but it seems like several people dropped the ball. And I saw like her ex-sister-in-law complaining, but I'm like, you didn't ask to see your nephew and your nieces in 4 years? Quack, quack, quack.
That is weird.
It's heartbreaking. And they said like the girls, they couldn't stand up straight. There was no running water. Some people just don't need to have children. Like that is crazy. And I guess one of the dads, I don't know how many there are, at least 2, have been incarcerated. And so, I mean, I guess I can cut him some slack because he couldn't like go knock on the door. But I just don't understand like not fighting to see your children.
No one did a welfare check request, nothing. This is where caning needs to come back into fashion.
Yes.
Remember the case with the guy over in, was it Japan, China, somewhere? Big old hullabaloo for getting caning for littering.
Something needs to happen. I mean, and the only reason it came up now is because she hadn't paid rent, and so the landlord asked for a wellness check. But like in October, since October, she hasn't paid rent. They just hold it through the cracks, and like she unregistered them from one school, saying she would register them at another. And I don't know how it is now. Like, I'm sure it's all digital. But back in the day, you'd have to get a printout of all your stuff. And they would give one to the parent. I know this because I switch schools every year. One for you to take home to your parent. And then they would mail a copy to the school you were meant to be going to. Apparently, they don't do that anymore. So she just said, oh, yeah, I'm taking them to this school. They said, okay, see you later.
No cross-checking, no truant officer, no.
Right. I feel like there should be a handoff, right, between one school to the other. You're very bossy today, sir.
Because when they come to your house and say, hey, why isn't your kid in school?
Right. But I mean, if for no other reason, then the school gets money, like public school, per head. Like, wouldn't they be wanting to count those kids? Like, where are they?
I know. Because I remember in grade school, when they would take your attendance officially and then take it to the office, an envelope to the office. When they did that meant they counted you for the day to help ensure they would get money for the month for each kid who went to class that day. It was a thing.
It's different. I mean, even in the Maddie Soto case, right? I think they changed the law after that, but they didn't notify her mom that she never came to school until like 6 p.m. Well, she could be long gone, and as she was, you know what I mean? Like, had her mom known 9 o'clock, she would have been looking for her.
I don't get that at all. That's crazy.
Yeah. What was that? Someone said, I can't believe they gave them to family members who didn't bother to check on them in 4 years, right? Especially during the pandemic, I feel like we were all like extra diligent. I don't know what's wrong, babe. Except open your mouth. The car. Yes, car. If they would have called her like 9, 10 o'clock, I think then, because Stefan was in the house pretending nothing was going on at that point, that would have alerted her before he ever took the body, right? Because at that point in the morning, her body was still in his car.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like we got to be more responsible with the kids. But, I know what I was saying. I don't know where you're trying to go. Mm-hmm. You want to go over here? During COVID, like, there was a bunch of stuff. There was... Ooh, what? Okay. I'm going to do... Hold on.
Yeah, they had to make sure that they were going to school via computer.
Right, but they didn't bother. Hang on one second. I'm going to do a comfort break. All right, we're back. And I got cookie in my mouth. Yeah, I don't understand how they didn't go to foster care and like, not that that's a better place, but then evaluate everyone. But there was a bunch of, so remember, what's his name? Anthony Todd. He unalived his wife and kids.
Yeah.
And people were looking for him because it was COVID. There was another man who unalived his wife, and he claimed like she was in some COVID hospital. But I feel like people were checking extra because we know the children were vulnerable. So let me see. If the one is 15, he would have been 11, right? Like, and then the other ones would have been obviously younger. Nobody thought, hey, let me just make sure, like, are they eating? Did the mom lose the job during COVID? Like, everything was so uncertain during COVID. Everybody was checking. People who don't even normally do that were checking on people.
This is where you needed a Mrs. Kravitz in your neighborhood.
That's Kathy of Gossip Rumor.
It is, but a nicer version. A much nicer version than Mrs. Kravitz.
Yeah, she's a much sweeter version than Miss Kravitz, but she's totally.
But
what she call it? Curtain twitcher.
Caught up. Oh, before I forget, there's 2 audiobooks on Amazon Kindle about our infamous little doofus in Florida. One was released before the trial, and one was released after the trial. And there
of Miss Boone?
Yes. Just Any Gamer did a little short video. There's 2 audiobooks on her.
I'll have to go and look.
One is like, yeah, it's interesting, but they're both audiobooks. So
yeah,
the middles is what makes you laugh. Because
oh my god,
I fell asleep, and then I forgot what the other one was. It's like I fell asleep, and then X amount of months or lawyers, and it was like a little countdown of everything prior to the trial, and then the trial.
Right. Oh, did he go over? Someone said Paul went over Anthony Todd again. That whole thing was ridiculous. His whole confession and then recanting it, and he was so angry at the prosecutor on the stand. It was like, buddy, you shouldn't have taken the stand.
They never think they ever listen. And I heard Mr. Brooks is being his own lawyer for an appeal. So I'm not sure.
I heard that. I saw a thumbnail, but
yeah,
that's even more complicated than a regular trial. So I'm
not sure which conviction he's going to try to. It can't be for the parade because come on, right? What part of that is not guilty?
Right. And he took a plea deal on the last one with Erica. He claims he didn't want to make her go through a trial. So I don't know what he's appealing. He's an odd duck. He just needs attention.
Very odd.
Larry said, I'm thinking he's talking about Owens. No lawyer with his experience could be that bad. I think he sought out a plea deal, and he did. She rejected it, and he did the best he could. Yeah, I also feel like he didn't really want to wrangle her too much because she's prickly, so he just kind of let her run the show. Good, bad, or indifferent, He was tripping all over himself, though. There's no excuse for him not to have proper citations, relevant citations, any citations in some instances, right? And then the whole he hasn't withdrawn yet, and the other, it just is like he kind of phoned it in. But I'm glad he represented her. I feel like we'd be in much worse shape had she done it herself. Yeah,
because basically, if she didn't agree to something, it's not fair. Right.
And Kranick asked her every day, are you satisfied with your representation? And she was. So he did something right.
When Miss Sally was talking about how she tried to take ownership of that one table that was next to her bunk.
Yeah.
Part of me wanted, and I wish I would have caught it live, I would have asked, for the time she wasn't using the table, if people got chairs and sat around the table, would she still come and bitch the fact you're using my table, even though she's not using it?
I think so.
What kind of reply would be, because
it sounded like she didn't want anyone at that table ever. So I think whether she was there or not, she was like marking her territory,
And part of me is kind of like, Heaven forbid if I was in jail in Florida, I would have used a damn table, and I don't care about what this child says because she's a dork.
Yeah, I think they just didn't want to get into it with her. I mean, she's got balls of a burglar wherever she goes. I'm sure where she is now, she's marking out territory, and then she leaves it up to you to challenge her because she wears people down. Even if you know what I mean, like she's just gonna keep going back and forth. She'll argue with a stop sign, as my grandma would say. Stop sign still saying no, or stop sign still saying stop, and she's still talking.
Miss I was cool. I like her personality.
Whose personality?
Miss Sally? Or, your guest from...
Miss K, yes. Oh, my God.
Hey, I'm sorry. I don't know why I was calling
No,
her
it's okay. It's all right. Yeah. No, she was amazing. I had fun. We talked regularly for 2 weeks. She's a hoot. It's a little crazy. I'm trying to think of that guy who unalived his wife. Like there were cameras, so he was busted, but he tried to pretend that she was really sick with COVID and in a hospital because everybody was looking for her. A lot of people use COVID, unfortunately, as a hey, C. Morales. Deb says, in my opinion, Owens was just doing Sarah's bidding so she could keep counsel. They did argue over things. Owens seemed like a pea-lipped husband. Oh my God. No. Milk is over. I can go get you a cup. Are you trying to be sneaky because I'm on camera? You're like, she always falls for it. Not today. Let me see this, please. Thank you. Yeah, they did argue at least twice. And he said it at the end, like, she's got the personality she's got. I think he is old enough to know, like, not to just knock his head up against a brick wall.
Yeah.
Route Irish, hello. The Benadryl and BB gun fool is just trying to fakely unalive himself. Oh my God. And the pudding, the Benadryl pudding, and he fell asleep in the van. Like, none of that made any sense. I think it's hard when people, like, if you do a crime or don't do a crime, if you are suspected, please get an attorney because people like set themselves up in a trap and say things they shouldn't have said. I mean, good for us. We get justice, but like it just seems ridiculous. Yeah. Uh-oh, sir. You're turning off lights now. Okay. Oh, I think that was me. Sorry, that wasn't you. That was my big foot. He is very sleepy. I thought he was gonna nod out, but then when I started setting up over here, he seemed to perk up. This is his nap time. Yeah. You're sorry for what? Cars. Okay. Cars. The cars, yes. Yeah. Oh my God. Hey, Deb H. Hello, everybody. Hug. Okay. Yeah. I love you.
Oh, there. Paul had the doctor.
I have it tagged, Dr. Barry, for the one. Yeah. Did you see it?
I saw part of it. It looked pretty good. She explained that she's not a forensic, but she's pretty insightful for the inability of her to tell a truth on, the convicted.
Right. I'll check it out. I always find her like super insightful.
She always reminds me of the chick from Rent.
Oh, wait, which version? Now I gotta Google it.
The
which
movie.
One okay.
She was in the original play, I think, and then the movie version.
Let me see if I can find it. Rent Star. The movie.
The one who played the lawyer.
Joanne Jefferson?
No.
Okay.
Tommy or Thompson or Tammy Thompson or something like that. She was in the movie version of Rent when it first came out after the musical on Broadway or off Broadway.
It's not giving me a picture of her. Okay. she's super sweet. I enjoy her, and she's been very kind to the channel. Yeah,
Hopefully this
that
won't take.
you got it.
I,
Up here, okay.
Tracy Thomas.
Oh, okay. Let me see, so I can show everybody.
Miss Berry looks like Tracy Thomas.
She makes me want to twist my hair. I was in one of
type
her.
in Ren on IMDb.
Oh yes! Oh my God! Yes, yes. Okay, let me show you guys. Yep,
They could be cousins.
they really could. Let's see. How do I get it over there?
Oh,
Uh-oh. Too far. Okay. Yes. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay. It's all these other people that I'm. Happy dance. Happy dance. Okay. Yeah, but right there in the middle, you can see her.
Yeah. They could be cousins. But yeah, I like her insightful take on people's behavior as. I mean, the fact that she came up with so many different lies to try to justify what happened with her kid and not be helpful at all whatsoever with the police on finding the kid. How some of the tactics her lawyer took in the trial, I like. What are they? I don't get where he's coming from, and the fact that he's like yelling at the jury half the time, I didn't like that either. It's crazy.
Okay. Who was yelling?
The lawyer, when he was doing the closing closing statements summary, her lawyer was yelling at the jury, trying to disassemble the prosecution's point of view on how it wasn't these other people that she was trying to say that killed the kid. It was her. And when they found her with a tinfoil on her head, the first thing that came to mind was that, well, she probably could put that on the kid's head to prevent anybody recognizing that there's a kid in the trash can.
Oh. What was up with the tinfoil?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm thinking that she put that on the kid's head to disguise what was underneath that tinfoil, and people thinking, well, maybe it's just like leftovers that she done with, so she crumpled the tinfoil and put it in the trash.
But there was one where one of the witnesses, they unfolded the tinfoil, like it was quite a bit of it, you know?
Yeah, I don't understand it. She needs to be caned a lot.
Oh my God. It was hard because she's young and they asked for mercy, but I'm like, what does redemption look like for you when you're that young and you kill your child and hide and lie? And
I mean, Dr. Berry brought up a point of saying, well, maybe she regretted having the kid in the first place. Because
maybe
you have a kid so young, and if you're not have the right support, and if you're not in the right mental health status, this kid is taken away from all your fun time being a teenager and young adult.
Right. And then her mom got arrested after she got off the stand. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
don't get that. I don't get that.
so it sounds like mom had a substance abuse problem also for a while. I don't know. It was all very, very tragic.
This is not the family you would see on the New Yorker at Thanksgiving around the table, you know?
No, you would definitely not. Yeah, I don't know. People do despicable things to small children, and then it's like, what was the other one? Was it Graves, where they put him in a crate and put him in a well, and the mom took responsibility for it? They were both addicts. They
Yeah,
gave him custody, but she was still living there.
yeah. It was messed up.
And there was like a whole
I
team
don't get
there, and
it.
they all failed him. It wasn't like he shouldn't have been off the radar. Like they were being watched, monitored. Um, but still it happened. The kid cases are hard for me. Like, yeah, like I was saying, I think last
There's
week
no
when
one
I
to
watched.
protect them.
Say that again.
There's no one to protect them when all everybody around you, when you're like you're four, you don't have a lot of means to get protection, and
Right.
then this happens, and it's just horrific because you would think somebody should know better and do the right thing, but no, no, no.
Nobody seems to. Hey, Jenny, Crime Cafe, how are you? Oh my God, there's a link in the post if you want to come up. I watched all of the Rose Petal murders over on Jenny's
Oh,
channel. Yeah. Oh my
that
God,
was the messed up thing.
that guy was crazy. Like, he described her murder in such graphic detail, but with zero emotion. And then
Yeah.
I just thought it was ridiculous when he was like, I wanted it to be painless. Oh, did you guys see Kathy's video, Gossip Rumor and Innuendo? She said one of the jurors talked and they did like
Yes.
33 stabs, and they're like, no.
I saw it this morning. It's like 33 stabs is crazy, or I can't remember what the term she used, but it's right on the money. It's like this is not accidental. This is not self defense. This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is like Manson level of stab numbers.
Right. Right. Good hair or not, he's like, and I felt so bad for his dad, like when his dad did the impact statement, but also like, you got to accept what's happening. I think I've seen that multiple times with parents saying, "Oh, my kid is still, I'm proud of." I mean, remember Chris Watt's mom?
I did
It's
not
like,
see. I
read
did
the
not.
room.
Oh,
Okay. Chris Watt's mom was like, I still love him. I'm proud of him. Whatever she said at his, cause he didn't go to trial, but at the, when they were doing their statements, and
yeah.
then she went on TV and did a bunch of things, bad mouthing the wife, like somehow the wife's attitude, she didn't deserve to live. It was just very weird.
Wow.
And it seemed like Zach's dad was doing those kind of mental gymnastics. I mean, of course you're proud of your son for his like talent. Because obviously that very few people reach that level of talent in life, but he threw it all away for this guy, John Mello. Do you think he was having a romantic affair with John Mello?
The fact that he would be this devoted to piano playing and yet go into the service where you could damage your hands to not being able to play. Possible, I don't know. Maybe it was like one of these I admire you so, but not to the point where I'm having a physical thing with you.
Right.
But your admiration, you put him on a pedestal so high that you can't see their feet or something. I don't know.
Something. Yeah, I mean, he threw it all away for John Mello and a girl he only met a couple of times, and on a suspicion, right? Like he didn't know. I was thinking at one point, well, maybe the girl told the dad and the dad told him, but it seems like none of that actually occurred. So
No, and didn't a secondary arrest happen because of the testimony of
John
Zach?
Mello
Yeah.
got arrested. Yeah,
Okay.
because Zach said he offered him 5,000 and then 10,000, so that's solicitation. Whether he took it or not, it's still solicitation,
It is. It's like anybody would do that. I would like to think that the reply would be, let's take the check and rip it up into tiny little confetti pieces and mail it back to them. And this is what I think of you or your offer.
Right.
Yeah, crazy.
I hope they don't write a check. Oh my God, that's giving me Donna Adelson flashbacks.
I
Writing
know
checks to Katie McBanoa. Like, oh,
that
people.
moment.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
know how.
lurking and listening while trying to get okay. Yeah, it is all of them. All of them. But I think also maybe that was Zachary's like last dig, right? Of like, yes, John was involved because everybody suspected. Like, why would he randomly take that up on his own? Like, everybody was
Because, like, I
assuming
mean,
John said something.
granted, she is not the most sympathetic victim of what
Right.
she was doing, but does that warrant death? I don't know. Maybe severe beating, and then are putting her in the hoosegow and saying, "Hey, investigate her for all the horrible things she's doing." I don't know.
Right.
Caning has been a lot on my mind lately, so
I see. Wait,
bring
are
that
you
back.
talking about being caned to death or just caned until
No,
sense is beat into
no,
you? Okay.
just like go once a day or once a week into the cell and bonk or wherever you are. Like this child just got convicted. Just hit her with a cane every day. Remember, once a week. Just hey, because
Knock some
we're all
sense into
over.
her.
Yeah, nothing.
Oh
I
my
don't know.
God.
Because 50 wet lashes with a wet noodle ain't gonna do it.
Oh no. We're well beyond a wet noodle with these folks. Oh my God. Someone asked about Foya and Sarah. So I have asked. Sarah doesn't have any misbehavings yet. The last thing I got was the 11th, the 10th or 11th of February. So I'm gonna wait until March 10th and ask
Yeah.
again. But she's been on her best behavior. I
She
also asked
was,
for Donna's. Say that again.
no, I was just agreeing with you.
I also asked for Donna Adelson's behavior reports and medical, well, not medical, but I want to see because there's times on there I know where she refused medical, and they put those in the reports. So I also had asked for her body cam, and like the first quote they gave me was like $1,300, and I'm like, can you tell
Mm,
me what's on them? Like, what is it? Something I haven't seen?
that's kind of
And so
crazy.
yeah, it's crazy. And especially because I know, like, at least the airport stuff they've already released, like, they don't have to redact anything or redo anything. Like, it's a money game though. But
That's
yeah,
what, because like they caught her just in time of leaving the country.
literally, yeah.
So my question is, if they were on the tarmac, would they have ordered the plane to turn around because of this happening, or would they alert the authorities at that first stop to hold her on the plane and take her back to the U.S. because of that? I don't know what the rules are.
I don't think they would have backed that plane up with her on it. I think if they had, like, if the doors had closed, somebody would have called the pilot and said, hold the train. I mean, hold the train, hold the plane.
Yeah, before going down the runway. I mean, I know if you're going to a country that doesn't,
Extradite.
extradite them back, you got to either hold them on that plane without stepping foot into that airport.
Right.
So either keep them in the plane and then turn around and fly back, or stop that plane from taking off.
I think they would have stopped it. I don't think it would have made it to Dubai because that is a whole other can of
And
worms, right? You're in a different
yeah,
country, you're in a different territory. You're like, I don't think she was leaving the US.
I don't know. It's like, why would you wait 7 months to report an incident either? I don't get her.
And she won't give the name of who's extorting her. I mean, I feel like there's checks and balances, though. There should be some way to look at this. Like, did she actually order extra commissary? I did ask for that. Did she, was she giving it away to someone? Because she won't reveal the name. which is probably smart if the person exists. I just don't think it happened.
I mean,
They're
there's
having a
got to be
hearing
a way
next
to,
week.
yeah, there's got to be a way to report it without getting hit or get the retribution of letting somebody know by putting them somewhere else, or put them somewhere else and let them investigate. But right after it happens, don't wait 7 months.
Right. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
And
But
also, oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, is this her way of trying to get sympathy to let her come home? And why would you let her come home after she pulled this trying to get away in the first place?
Oh, wow. So almost everything says when it comes to kid stuff, the inmates will take care of the lumps and bumps. That's good to know. Almost everything was our guest a couple weeks ago. She's the one that's been in Wisconsin prison.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. I wondered that. I know like for the molestation they handle that, but I wasn't sure about like the other abuse, especially with the women.
It's a different kind of worms, I heard,
Yeah.
in men's prison when it comes to those types of charges.
Oh yeah. Which I wouldn't be surprised if that's what caught up with Daryl Brooks, right? Because he is a registered offender because when he got with Erica, she was underage and he impregnated her. She says he trafficked her, and he has videos claiming to be a pimp. Not that videos are absolute truth, but like a lot of these quote unquote rappers have gotten in trouble for their lyrics being a little too close to reality.
I don't get why lyrics should be allowed in a court of law.
I don't know.
Because
I don't.
I've been watching part of the Nelly case or the ASAP Rocky stuff,
Yes. Which
and
I've been under a rock. I didn't know Rihanna was his baby mama.
I did not either. I mean, he looks 12 and she doesn't. I mean, I
Right.
don't know how old he is, but I don't know. Maybe she likes. Maybe it's because she is allowed to be silly and he doesn't judge her silly.
I don't know. But she seems happy. So listen, if it works, go for it.
Okay,
At
I
the
got
end of the
just one thing about the Super Bowl song.
Oh yeah.
So somebody took the first few lyrics of Not Like Us and paired it with a scene from Happy Feet.
Okay. Is it
And
on YouTube?
yes, it works. So if you search the Happy Feet Kendrick Lamar thing, it works so well.
Oh my god. Happy Feet, Kendrick Lamar. I've watched so many interpretation videos of that. I've found out a whole bunch of stuff. Like Drake used to date Serena. Serena was crip walking. There's like all these messages to him. Let's see.
But then there's also the whole Olympic thing when she crip walking. People had issue with that.
They're always going to have an issue. Yeah.
Stupid white folk had people with issue with that. It's like, why do you care how she celebrates the fact that she did it?
Right. There is a thing of like, it's happening. I don't want to get too political, but of policing Black bodies. It's like they want to control us no matter what. And so you shouldn't be doing that, even though it's her body and she has complete agency.
But then you had that one U.S. soccer player. Yeah, that's it. That's hilarious.
Let's play it and see what happens. Wait.
Divide. I'm gonna get it on the floor.
You really about to do it?
40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
We get on it like that.
Hey, I'm tripping, I'm sliding, I'm riding through the back like. Man, kill him, breathe. Like,
Why does Tabitha have bruises up and down her legs and her arms and a black eye?
Whoa. Yes, Bruce Rivers is back, and I'm excited about it. He's pumping out like I think I just watched like 3 videos from him. Um, I'm glad for him. He seems to be on the upswing, and I think it's a good tribute to Michael because Michael works really hard to build his channel.
But
Oh wait, say that again. You sorry. Say that
I
again.
don't know who's doing the camera work now, but he's got he's looking good. It looks like he's handling it well.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I didn't know that about her sister. Yikes. Hi, RMC. Hope the weather's nice. And hope the puppy is cooperating. I gotta bathe my girls, and they know, and they're like hiding.
they're hiding.
Yeah, they don't like the bath. Well, they're okay with the bath. They don't like the brushing really afterwards. They're Yorkies, and they're little. Yeah.
Yeah. Lori and her I don't want cameras in the courtroom motion. That was interesting.
Yeah, when she so obviously does. Like she's got full hair and makeup, but you don't want cameras?
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Deb, I agree. I think Michael would have wanted him to carry on. Yeah. I also for Lori, they're not charging Chad. It's just her for this. Obviously
Yeah.
Alex is dead. I don't know why she doesn't take a plea. She's already doing life. Like, what do you? It's to be seen, right?
She doesn't think she did anything wrong because what she's not grasping is the fact that she planned this with her brother to create a scenario that would create an argument between Charles and him to allow him to kill Charles and not get hung up on it because she wants the money. And then when she
Right.
found out she doesn't get to have the money, that it goes somewhere else, that's why the kids were killed.
Right.
Because she thinks if I just keep on going after these people that supposedly get to have the money, I'll somehow get the money. And I'm keeping an eye on my mailbox to see if I'm going to get anything.
Oh my god. I just watched Tylee's testimony because they're trying to get that taken out, or not her testimony. When right the day that Charles was murdered, they did that interrogation.
Oh yeah.
It's 100% her mom's words. Like her mom totally worked her, and watching it now, knowing she's dead, it's even that more heartbreaking that you would manipulate your own child to that.
Yeah, there was a interaction with the cops prior to his death where they were accusing him of keeping her purse and phone, and she was at some hotel. And when she was trying to explain to the police officers what happened to warrant him having the property, she always would glaze over any interaction that may have been her fault with yada yada yada, and then couch it in a way where it's all his fault that I don't have my phone or my purse and he's doing all these horrible things. And Tylee is there and some other chick, I think his sister-in-law,
Okay.
the one whose ex-husband got shot at.
Was that Melanice, or that's another one of the Boudreaux? It's Boudreaux. It's his last name. One of the yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. This family is horrific. I feel sorry for the kids, and I feel sorry for her son because he can't get a straight answer from the mom.
No, he did something on Tylee. I haven't watched it yet. But talking about that, really, I mean, it's just the ultimate betrayal. I was
It is.
watching another channel. She's either LDS or former LDS, but talking about, and I think she's related to them somehow. She knew them, but anyway, she was talking about how Lori would shame Tylee about her body and her weight and different things. And so, like, at this arc of her life, she was being quote unquote accepted by her mom. So she was leaning in even more. And so it just is like that much more heartbreaking of like, you finally gave her attention, but only for your own gain. Like, why did you have children if you were just going to ignore them?
Bragging rights?
Yeah, I don't know.
I've heard. I'm not a mom. I'm a really cool aunt. I'm like the cool aunt, but I don't have the patience for kids until they get to about like 8.
Right. And you know that, so you don't bring little ones into your, you know what I mean?
There
Like,
you go.
yeah.
So yeah. I think people like to brag about some of the things that they have to do that should not be considered a chore. It's just part of being a parent, and because they want the attention. It's almost Munchausen by proxy, but they're not sick.
Oh, I like that analogy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like my kid isn't sick, but I just want all the attention because I have the kids.
Right.
So that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
Fair enough. Oh my God. Yeah. Part of me is like, I struggle with Lori because one, she was found incompetent, then she was found competent. Like, she couldn't participate in her own defense, but she seems so conniving and so calculated. I almost wonder, was she able to like to convince the psychologist, psychiatrist that she was with? I mean, I know they look out for that thing, but it's hard to understand. And in that one video where Charles is like, something's wrong with her, she thinks I'm Ned. They believed her over him. Like, when she got there, they were just like, when she's like, he's crazy, and they didn't.
No,
He was so close to getting help.
It's this attitude, this unfortunate traditional attitude that people have of the woman is always helpless and it's always the guy's fault. And this day and age, that inequality has certainly been a little bit balanced in the fact that these women are crazy and they're not always, the guys are not always in the wrong.
Right.
So they just don't want to, but that part of town. Okay, so you have Utah and you have Salt Lake and you have the power of the Mormon church there. Mesa, Chandler, Gilbert is a very strong portion of that. There's a lot of pull where they take care of their own, and they do. But I'm thinking 90% of the Mormon folk that live here are not crazy, mental, murdering type, conniving women, people
Right.
who kill. So there's a lot of power, and they know I'm going to play to your, I'm so, kind of thing.
Right.
And when you have the cops in Gilbert or Chandler, wherever that's one interview with a cop, and they're talking about Charles coming over to drop off the property, and the cop is basically telling her what to do to break the law instead of sticking around to get a story straight. So
Oh my God.
I don't know. They're crazy. I think it's SKS had the video on it. I'm not going to be 100% certain, but I want to say it was him.
The Surviving the Survivor? Uh-oh. Or Short King
SKR?
Reacts. Oh, yeah, Short King Reacts.
Yeah.
Sugar Bear is snoring. He is knocked out.
Can't hear him for anything.
Oh, he's so loud. Yeah, it is. It's interesting because the police have like such a potentially powerful position when they get it right.
Yeah.
But they've got to go on instinct, right? There's so many things. People are lying. People have their own agendas. Like, I don't know how they train for that to like cut through to. I mean, it's got to be gut. Like you have to have a feel. I mean, and they don't always get it right, obviously, but like have a feeling of who's honest and who's not.
Yeah, because when you look at the video footage of the interview just after the murder happened, and you see her talking to the cops, and she's making a whole fuss because she had just found out of the change of the life insurance policy.
Right.
And the fact that, oh my God, can you imagine? I don't get all the money. And they're joking about it. They're like, seriously?
And she's having a party that night. And remember when he said, like, how long have you lived here? She was like, we just moved in. Hello, neighbors. Like, ma'am, there's a dead person in your house right now.
I know. And it was because of that the landlord, because he was renting that place, the landlord got fed up with them and all the drama. So she gave him a moment of, okay, you're out of here. You have your 30 days and you're out of here. Because I don't want to deal with this. Stuff like this does not happen until you people showed up.
Right.
So
you go away. These problems will go away. That's fair.
it's crazy.
Almost everything, I think you're right. It is a way for her to. I forgot about that. It's a control mechanism. Yeah, abuse her victims and their families again. Poor Kay Woodcock. Oh my God, that woman is strong.
Bless her heart.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, because the thing is, she was convicted of a crime in Idaho. So when they brought her back here, I don't know if they're just keeping her in one of the jails downtown, or if she's being housed over at Perryville and just being transported in every day when they have court.
Oh. They
Because
usually bring them to a jail, though. Remember, because
Yeah.
like when Katie McBanawa came in, they brought her to the local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have a 7th Street jail and you have a 4th Street jail. We used to have Tent City, which was a thing.
Wow.
We also
Most,
used to have
yeah,
Chafing,
West Coast. I was gonna say, I feel like most West Coast states have a tent city.
Well, there was a time when we had too many people.
I'm sure.
We probably still do have too many people. So I don't know
And
where they would house her.
her only connection there is that, like, why did she go to Mesa, Arizona? Like, what was she?
I think because Charles at one time lived here, and before they broke up, this is where they lived.
Okay. So she came, rented a house, probably under the guise of reconciliation.
Possibly. And then when that, and then he had his job made him force him to travel, so he had to travel to go back east or back southeast.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
So maybe it was because I remember what they showed a video of her when she was on Wheel of Fortune.
All the good murderers go on the game shows.
And that's my neighbor's motorcycle.
Oh,
Can you hear
I can hear it in my ear. I thought it was here. Oh my God.
No, it's my neighbor's motorcycle. Let me shut the window. But so yeah, I think she was married to Charles when she went on that game show. And
okay.
I just remember they lived in numerous places before meeting the crazy Chad.
Oh my God. All of the husbands, because I can't think of his first name, but the son's dad, their last name is Ryan. Like, he died under suspicious circumstances.
Yeah. There was one husband that was truly bad.
Okay.
And I think I don't know if that was her son's dad or a stepdad. I
Okay.
can't remember because Kobe had a stepdad whose name was Ryan, but it wasn't a blood connection, if memory serves. It was just
Oh.
coincidental.
Ah, okay. I didn't realize that. Okay. She gets around that one.
Yeah. I guess the only thing we don't have is the footage of her going to the Walmart
Oh my
to
God.
get.
Not yet. We might have it. Is there a Walmart in Mesa? She might have gone.
I don't know. I just know she's crazy. And I've actually got a summons for this trial. Because theoretically, I'm in Maricopa County.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Could you be impartial?
no way.
Oh, okay.
Because it's all about the money for her. And that's what and because, like, if they would say, have you heard of this thing? And I would say yes. And if they actually allowed me why I would not be impartial, I would be able to say it was because it's all about the money for her. It's always been about the money, and you see it when she's having that interview with that cop after the fact, because and her attitude, her
Right.
her flat attitude. Oh, you're because I'm thinking unless you get divorced because he is truly an evil guy and he truly hits you with a cane every 20 minutes. That's going to be in my head for a while. If you have kids together on purpose, you're going to be concerned about the death of your ex-husband, would you? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't have any kid connection with my ex. So when he left, and us,
Yeah,
I
no,
have,
you're always connected to that. You've got a shared
yeah,
DNA human in common.
yeah, because I have no desire. I've not seen him since this whole thing happened. So, c'est la vie. But the desire isn't there because there's no connection. There's no kid. Thank God.
Yeah.
Or that'll be a lot of explaining to do because I have my medical procedures occur before I ever met him to prevent such
Ah.
things. Yeah.
So it was never an option.
No, no, by
Or
choice. No, no, no,
okay.
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no, no.
yeah. I mean, I guess it's my daughter, the oldest, is 30. I'm not in contact with her dad now. I probably was up until like 2021 or so when she
Right,
was 20 or 21. But I have no reason to talk to him. Do you know?
right. But I'm thinking if when your daughter was younger, let's say about 18, 19, 20, somewhere in there, and if you found out that he had passed away under not natural circumstances, I would think there would be a little bit of, oh my gosh, But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know what kind of person he is. I'm making assumptions, but I don't know. I just think it's crazy that she is so not caring about what happened immediately after it happened.
Yeah. I mean that she's so uncaring that she killed her daughter.
Yeah.
Had her brother do it. But I think somewhere Tylee knew something was up with Alex because she says in that interview she had a bat when she lived with him because she didn't feel safe. Like the bat that was in the argument was Tylee's bat. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't she feel safe around her uncle? And if she didn't feel safe, why didn't her mom let her stay home? Like my mom wouldn't have made me go stay somewhere that I wasn't comfortable.
Yeah, I don't get that either. I don't understand Tylee. I don't understand Lori. I don't understand how he could be so cold and calculating on killing kids.
I know.
And you have one side saying yes, he did die of natural cause or medical reasons, and the other half saying, well, they killed him because he's your loose link.
Right. Well, and his wife Zulema said the night before he felt like they were setting him up, or he was going to be the fall guy. I can't remember the line, but he knew something was up.
He is the fall guy because he did everyone's dirty work.
Right.
And how can you not have a conscience? I mean, what? I don't get it. I don't get how you can do that and not have a conscience of the fact that you killed these people. And I don't care whatever words Chad said to make you think that it's okay.
Oh my God, right.
And then somebody said, what is the possibility of bringing him into this trial? And I'm going, what connection would he have?
Right.
I don't know if they were starting to see each other when this all happened.
They were already seeing each other, but he didn't go to Arizona. He didn't plot with Alex. Like, what would his
Yeah.
How would they tie that to him?
I don't know, because last I heard, he had come here, but just for a book tour or lecture tour, and then go back to wherever he's from. So he didn't live here, but he would come for business.
But I think she would have to implicate him in some way, because like just because he came for business, that doesn't mean
it's
like
not strong enough. It's not
right,
strong enough.
right. It's weird. Kelly D, if you want to come up, you can. I don't know. You might have accidentally clicked on that link. You're here either way. It's fine. I see you. I'm not ignoring you. I'm. Just let me know what you need.
The show.
Oh, we're going about Donna. So you guys know Donna is also saying she was going on vacation to Vietnam one way. I think all that's coming up in the hearing on the 26th.
Oh, that call.
And I think she did pick Vietnam because Charlie had connections there. But she also mentioned it to someone on the phone, and that person called the feds. It's interesting. Like, she was completely clueless that she was sending off all those alarm bells, irrespective of that open call, right? Like, she's calling people like, hey, I need to get my affairs in order, as one does before they go on vacation. Like, you're getting all of the kids' trust funds. It just was, it's giving desperate, honestly.
Yeah, because there's few reasons why you're going to say that.
Right.
And one is that you know that you're going to die because of a medical condition that you have, and you know you have X amount of time to live. Or you're going to run away.
Right.
I don't know. Adelson.
I agree. She should have left before the verdict, or at least had all the machinations in place. Do you know? Like getting an emergency visa the day after your son's convicted of a crime in which you are a co-conspirator. Oh, that's not suspicious.
No, not least bit. Part of me, in the crazy time frame, part of me wishes that when the two guys was reached out to commit the initial crime of killing Dan, I know it's against her DNA to do it, or against her code to do it, but I wish they would have called the cops and said, hey, these people over here are wanting to pay me large amounts of money to kill a guy because they don't like the fact that their daughter can't, or her and the kid, but the whole issue with the custody issue, and the mom can't have her way.
Right.
Or grandmother can't have her way.
Grandma wants to win. Can't beat the Adelsons.
And so I'm not going to kill these guys. I'm not going to do it. But you need to be aware of that. And then come up with some excuse of why they couldn't make the hit.
Right. Hi, Kelly.
Because when they were going through her son's trial, why would you issue a paycheck to a chick that doesn't work in your office?
Right. Not one, multiple. You just write them all at one time, right? Because they're sequential.
No one question this, and why is her dad so silent on all this? Are they going to have the dad come up? Will the defense try to get the dad to come up?
Do you think he'll come up to support her?
I Was he in the trial for the son?
Neither one of them. No.
Because I
No.
know that. I mean, mom. I don't know if mom did. Mom show up in the galleries during any of the trials?
Not Donna. No. Ruth did. Dan's mom showed up, but not. Kelly, do you want to come up? Okay.
So.
How do I get? Oh.
Because you have that whole law that you can't testify
go.
against your wife, but can't that be waived?
Yeah, I don't know. And he's
By
unindicted.
By the spouse? I don't know. Hey, Kelly.
Hey, I think he'll go to the courtroom with her and be there.
Why?
Because they've been married forever, and I don't think he's in any danger of, unless there's some stuff that they found on like their computer or their phones. I think somehow they protected him, that he's like in a shell. I think eventually Wendy could get in trouble eventually, but I don't think Harvey's gonna ever be charged in this.
Part of me doesn't want him to, but he went along with some of the stuff.
Right, and there's no way after the fact that he doesn't know the
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think about my wife, and even if I was trying to hide something, I wouldn't be able to hide it forever. It would eventually.
Right. When during the son's trial, when the prosecution would come up with the connections to all of this, he would sit back and he would like, "Oh, yeah, that did happen, didn't it?" Kind of thing.
Like he was putting it together for the first time. Yeah. Oh yeah, that what I'm saying doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And that might very well be that, again, that they hid stuff, but how could you be that ignorant of?
Well, and when they were at the sushi place, his dad was dialed in. He wasn't like, "What are you talking about?" You know, he was like, "Oh, I thought it was Katie. I thought they weren't that smart." Like he was looped in.
Well, and it's his business. How does he not know that they're paying Katie and Katie isn't working there? I mean, we have our own business, and number one, I would never, tax-wise, I don't know how I would ever get with paying somebody that wasn't working.
Right.
If you are far enough removed from this over here and all you're doing is your doctory stuff over here, and if you trust your wife because your wife is your office manager, you can hide a whole bunch of stuff from the husband because he's not focused on the business side of the accounting or the financial side of it.
But once he found out she was hiding it, wouldn't he have been curious? If he didn't know about the murder, wouldn't he be like, why would she?
I would think so. To go back and look at all the, because I'm sure he has some kind of way to look back at stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and then some of it also, like we're having a problem right now with a state that decided that we needed to be paying taxes in it. And it's like, but you've never told us that. And the first time you've told us that is like in March, or actually January, we got a letter. And they're trying to tax us back like 7 years.
Oh my God.
And it's like, wait a minute, we live in Oregon, this is in Tennessee, trying to do this. And every contract we've ever done with Tennessee, there's been nothing about it. But like my wife keeps saying, our stupidity of not knowing that doesn't get us out of that. And I'm like, well, so I'm kind of thinking with Harvey, your stupidity in not knowing something that's going on in your business, that it doesn't necessarily give you a pass there.
No, it sure doesn't. Yeah.
I mean, I'm fighting with Tennessee. Tennessee is not going to get away with this with me, but yeah, I get what she's saying, that if we don't know the laws and don't know the rules, and you would clearly know the rule of not hiring a hitman.
Right.
Oh, I'm thinking that there's a new scam going on with cell phone text messages. Because I'm getting a text. I got 2 text messages so far.
Have you got the
Where
one that says you owe money for
a toll
tolls?
road? Yeah.
Yeah.
These people make no sense because A, you don't know where I live to realize Arizona doesn't have toll roads.
Yeah, neither does Oregon. And even when we have our business people travel, yeah, no.
And they're
It's
so specific, but you have to go on Safari to pay this. Like, first of all,
I have not gotten that. Oh my god!
yeah,
But thanks for the
I've got
heads
it. I've got that one a couple times. The
Wow.
tolls.
yeah, because when I was in California, I went across the bridge because that's what you do when you're playing tourist.
Yeah.
And when I got the bill for the toll road, it comes in the mail, and then you go to the website and you pay. You don't tell me about it on the phone.
Even if you're in a rental car, it comes in the mail. If you
Yeah,
forgot to
Yeah.
do it while you're in a rental car, it comes in the mail. But it's
Yeah.
interesting that they're getting to where they can do these scams through texting now. That it used to be email, and it's like, oh,
Right.
clearly that's a scam. But now they're infiltrating our text messages. Holy crap!
yeah.
Crazy.
So I
Yeah.
do the delete report junk. I'm not sure.
I think
what
we got to
the-
be extra diligent now with everything going on. It's gonna just get worse. People are
Yeah.
gonna go
So
underground and
you
start
see
doing.
that people who are not in the visual part of the phone call, don't fall for them.
Right.
They're bad, and
And
they'll
then
send you a bill.
going back to you guys talking about Lori Daybell.
Yeah.
Chad was, as far as the Arizona link, Chad is the one that after Charles died, that Chad is the one that called the funeral home
Oh,
and checked on. He called the funeral home about getting Charles back to Louisiana or whatever to his family, and
What?
I don't.
they've got that on. The funeral home records all the calls, so they have that. And Chad, they asked him for his name, and he was stupid enough to say Chad. But then when they asked him to spell his last name, he spelled it wrong.
Oh my
Not,
god.
but it's
Did
his
you try to
voice,
be
and it's him on the
So he
call with.
can be implicated, at least after the fact.
Yes, yes.
Because how would he know? I mean, first of
But I
all,
think that's probably the only thing that they really got on him, unless one of the other, like Zulema or can say.
yeah,
Okay.
because somebody has to contact him to let him know where to call.
Right.
N-
And
n-
why are you
Like after the
asking?
person died, you mean? Like to say there's a dead
Yeah,
body?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, can you call this funeral home and ask him what it's going to cost to get him back to Louisiana? It's like, why would you do this?
right.
I would think it would be K and Company that would do this.
Because
'Cause
I
I
don't
don't-
think he'd been to a funeral home yet. I think it happened right. I mean, I don't know about the timing, but I think it was probably right after Charles was killed. And he's like, yeah, well, how do I get him to there, and how much is that going to cost?
Yeah, I mean, why a theoretical total stranger guy?
Exactly.
I don't get that. I don't get that. Because why would he do that? I don't understand.
We'll never
Why didn't they
understand
just use the portal and send him there?
Right.
That wouldn't have cost a thing.
Right.
No, okay, I know you can
And leaves
rent.
no paper trail.
I'm thinking you can rent refrigerated trucks or like U-Haul or whatever. Can they just get put him in a box and put him in the truck and drive and drop him off somewhere?
Is it true
I would
Lori
imagine-
didn't even notify his kids that he died?
Right.
Ugh.
She told her son that he died, but of not how.
Of
He
a
made-
heart
she-
attack. I think she said heart attack for Colby.
Yeah.
I was listening to some of his stuff last night, and then I fell asleep. But I
About the
believe he
Tylee
said
stuff?
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I saw some of that.
But I believe he
She
said that
lied to
Lori
him
told
about,
him he died of a heart attack.
yeah, because
Yikes. I'm gonna
because
lay
this way it
down.
doesn't put Uncle Alex in a bad light, saying, "Well, your stepdad died because your uncle shot him."
Right.
Because then you don't have to go an additional explanation of why did he shoot him?
But I
And
believe what Colby was saying is that he showed up at the house and like Tylee just kind of fell into his arms and stuff. So that would mean he had to have seen like blood on the floor, a bullet hole in the floor if he showed up there at the house. And so he
if
would have known right away too, not too far after that.
if he was focused, depending on where
Yeah.
you're putting your focus at. Because if when you come into a house, I can't remember how the design of the house was. But you come to the house, and if you have your stepsister, your sister running at you, wanting that comfort, you're not focusing on your surroundings so much. Your concern is about her.
That's true, but she probably would have said Uncle Alex shot him.
Yeah, because I can't remember how the time frame between when she bothered to tell him
Right.
versus when he went to the house. Because she doesn't seem too diligent to care about how long it took to let Kobe know that Charles is dead.
I can't believe how mentally she and he both thought they were going to get away with all of this. And I mean, I think it's maybe one thing to make two adults disappear, but how do you make two children? I mean, if all of a sudden we were not seeing Sugar Bear anymore, we even just us would be questioning that,
Right.
because I
You
think
would be
kids are different.
questions about where he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you guys, I feel like if it wasn't for Kay, it would have gone undetected longer. Do you know?
I
Looking
think
for
that's right.
JJ.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was very persistent because this is one of those examples of like slipping through the school system by saying, "Oh, I'm moving," and then nobody following up.
Right. And Colby with Tylee, Lori still had her phone, so he thought he was still talking to Tylee, even though it was weird that. So
The
maybe
whole
eventually,
borrowing money from Tylee was annoying me. Like, why are you guys taking Tylee's money anyway?
yeah. Well, I thought it
Greed.
was weird too, but I'm not gonna go after Colby. But that Colby would call Tylee for money. That's neither here nor there in all of this, but that seemed kind of odd too. But
he still thought she was alive because that was their normal
exactly.
pattern, right? So he would not have raised a red flag because he's having that same interaction that he always had with her.
Right.
So had it not been for that, it was just like, it was, thank God for Kay Woodcock. Like, it was.
Because I keep slipping from my memory. Because I know it was like Kay would call the authorities, and they went back and forth with this whole, oh no, he's over here, oh no, he's over there, or no, he's over here, or no, they're at the movies.
I don't think that went on to too long before it was busted, though. But
only because of the news coverage, though, because somebody was lying for her that JJ was there, and then when they saw her on the news in Hawaii, she went to the police and said, "I haven't seen him. I don't know what's going on. I haven't seen him."
Yeah.
There's that one chick that was supposed to be. They're supposed to be at the movie theater, seeing something.
Seeing Frozen.
Yeah. And so, but what keeps slipping in my mind is, how do they know to dig up those two areas to find the kids. That's what I can't remember.
The email he sent about the skunk. That he sent, Chad sent his wife, and it was a skunk or something that was in the
It was
backyard.
a
And he had
raccoon.
raccoon, thank you, that he had to bury. So they went there, and I think it was Tylee that was there.
Yeah. But when you get on a property too, and not that I've ever seen a grave, but you can see things that have been disturbed by.
Yeah.
It's
Recently disturbed.
Yeah, it's not hard to find when you're looking at, especially if they had any drones that they put up, because looking at something from up above, you definitely can see disturbances in the ground of where things have changed.
Soil, the color of the soil will be different because you have, below dirt is going to be darker than above topsoil stuff
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. But somebody told me that somebody bought the house and then they're tore down the house and they made it a
playground,
a memorial park or something.
Last I'd heard, I saw the house getting torn down. Nate from East Idaho News did that, but I kind of fallen out with that. I don't know that I've heard anything about what they were doing, because I think they were trying to talk to like Kay and Larry and Colby, and they weren't real happy that happened. I mean, I think they were probably happy that the bill. I don't think they knew how to feel about all of it or what they wanted.
Because, I mean, technically that is a grave site. So there's an official place to visit. And then when they found the bodies, they have to dig them back, I'm assuming rebury them. Or I don't know if they cremated them or what they did with the kids after all of this happened.
I believe Tylee was. I think I've heard that Colby has Tylee and that she's cremated. Tammy was buried.
You're right. Okay. Yeah.
And
Tammy was
it sounded like JJ was more full body. I mean, Tylee was in pieces.
okay.
I think JJ was more I don't know what I'm
whole.
I would think he was probably cremated also, and Kay and Larry have him.
Now the twisted side of me is curious about how much did Chad's lawyer get for the property, because he had to sell it in order for them. Because I don't know if he's the kind of lawyer that, okay, I bought the house, now I'm going to demolish it because it's good for my public image.
You probably could get like an estimate on Zillow if you know the address.
Yeah, I think it did show it. It's like 5 acres in Idaho.
Who bought it? Because I
don't think it was a huge amount. I think it sold for like less than 400,000. If I'm not, I don't exactly remember. But then there would also be the money that was owed on that. So
because
how much did he really get?
To pay the lawyer,
100,000, 200,000, who knows?
And so because during the trial, when you had that realtor guy on the stand, and Chad's lawyer was asking him a whole bunch of questions about the house, and when he said, "I don't know, you bought it, you tell me."
Yeah, that was funny.
I love that moment, even though it may not have been professional. I love that moment.
It was funny.
Now, there's some snark in a courtroom.
Yeah, because I know the lawyer, guy, he may not thought it was very professional of him to say that, but I'm not a lawyer, so I could say it was kind of funny.
It was. I thought it was funny.
And what I think is going to be really awful is Lori cross-examining Kay. In that
hopefully they put some
that
guardrails.
Kind of stuff should really not be allowed. But I mean, I get that we all have the right to defend ourselves and whatever, but when it's somebody that you have hurt like that you've destroyed.
There was
Seems
a
like-
trial of the guy. He was doing his own lawyer, and he was accused of all these horrible things he did to his wife. And then the wife had to go on stand to testify, and he had
He
to
kidnapped
cross-examine.
her. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Horrible.
that. Yeah.
And she held her own against him when he was trying to re-traumatize her of the crime.
Mm-hmm.
He was
And I-
getting joy from that. It
Yeah,
was
and I was
disgusting.
proud of her for standing up to him and like correcting him. It's like, no, you did this. It wasn't some other, But he
Would
was a
Lori would they have to call Kay though at all? Like the state would call her?
I believe
I'm-
so. Yeah.
I'm
I think
not
she's
su-
like their number one witness. Yeah.
Well, I'm not, because as possible to motive for killing Charles.
Oh, but I guess the insurance company could talk to that too, but whatever conversation Charles had with her about why he was changing her
Right.
as the beneficiary
Well, yeah.
versus Lori, there had to be a conversation there.
Not to mention that, well, yeah, the reason you would change, but also he was talking to people about how Lori thought she was, I don't know what she was thinking exactly, that she had all this power. So he probably would have talked to his sister about how Lori was acting and things Lori said at that point.
Right.
Although that might be hearsay. But
We do have the body cam footage though of him telling the police about she's like the leader or the queen of the 140 whatever.
Right.
So they could have the cops come in and introduce that body worn camera.
well, as a Mormon, she's got a lot to fight about with that 144,000 because the Jehovah's Witnesses think they're the 144,000 too. So
I wonder if that'll be one of the voir dire questions. Like, are you a Jehovah's Witness? For the jury. Oh my God.
Yeah, that whole religious aspect.
I feel bad that everything that's been going on, like the Jody and Ruby and this, and then there's been another one, and then is Ruby
Frankie?
yeah, well,
And
Ruby,
Jody?
Frankie, and Jody. I know they definitely, but I mean, I'm not active LDS, but and it's like everything that has been coming out, and you watch the groups of how people kind of pick on the Mormons, and it's like, but no, we're not all that's not part of
Right.
and for
that's a
like
problem.
Lori and Chad to get married in the temple when she was still married and he was married to somebody else, you can't do that.
No, there's rules.
That you can't get married in the temple like that without. So it had to be in their heads that, but and most of the time, if I've only been to the temple a couple times, and it was years ago, but they pretty much, I don't remember the men and the women being commingled that much in the temples.
No,
No, I mean, you would do like baptisms for the dead. What I mean, I think you'd all sit in a room for that. But other than that,
yeah.
well, I guess maybe in the rooms where there's a lot of video stuff that happens in there that maybe you're sitting together with men and stuff in that. But I just don't I don't see where you could just sneak off with somebody and have like a pretend wedding in the temple.
No,
That's really weird how they did
Do you
that.
think they lied about it?
No, I don't
Of
think they
course.
lied about it, but I think that pretty weird how they could get away and not have like witnesses for that. If you're in, there's people all around in a temple when you go in there.
You have to have your temple recommendations and be approved on
Right.
those.
Right.
And
Oh, so you can't just like stroll in there.
no, it's not
No,
like going
no.
to
Okay.
your,
Ah.
your Methodist or Baptist or
Okay.
Presbyterian church.
Well,
down the road.
even if you're LDS, if you're not, because you have to renew your temple recommend every year.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, if you're not doing something right, like the big thing is tithing. If you answer the question that you're not tithing, then you don't get a temple recommend. And so you could have one year and then not have it the next year, and then you could get it back. But
Oh.
Yeah, because there's a big temple here in Mesa.
and then you
And
could
then you
not
have a
have it
different
and still
ward.
be a member of the church. So
Yeah,
Okay.
because there's a
Very
bunch of wards
nuanced.
that you have around the valley where you have the services at the ward, and only special things happen at the temple in Mesa, at least. Because there's like
they
a
sounded
lot. There
like,
used
or
to
at
be
least
one
Lori
across from
sounded
my
like
high school.
she talking about how she did, or somebody was talking about how she did work at the temple and work. So that would be like you were doing baptisms for the dead. I don't know what else you do there at the temple
Oh.
other than doing that. So if that was, again, yeah, I feel not that the Mormons are perfect, because they're not. Obviously, I'm acting Mormon anymore, but I just don't see how and Chad in his books, that's not Mormon either. That's, it's like if anybody that was in his church was reading those, you'd kind of go, yeah, no, that's not what we believe. You're kind of going off in a different direction here, Chad. What that's not what the church believes.
Yeah.
But wasn't he creating his own church? Wasn't that his?
Yes.
I think he was trying, but he was still very active in his church. So, how does
Oh.
his bishop not bring him in and talk to him and,
Yeah.
excommunicate him at that point? You can't start your own church when you're.
It's like a different sect or branch thereof of, I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
I always thought that if you suffer from insomnia, you just listen to his books on audio and you go right to sleep.
Oh my God.
They're so bad. So
Paul
bad.
did a funny reading of the books.
Yes.
It was, over on
I
sofa.
one day listening to some of that.
Yeah, I started to listen to it too, but I think you're right to try and follow along with that. It takes a lot.
It does indeed.
Oh my. All right. We are at, oh my God, it's 1 hour and 41 minutes, almost at 2 hours.
No way.
Oh, wow.
Very cool. Well, thanks for coming up. Everybody thinks, I think I like this format. I think it's more interactive than just the Zoom, because some people can chat and some people can come up if they want to. And so I think we'll do it this way again next month. So thanks for coming. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Yeah.
Bye.
Ciao.
Toodles.